Okay, so this is part 2. Thanks for joining me. You probably caught me over at Instagram, and now you're over here at YouTube. And I think the reason why I'm at YouTube is because I get to explain a little bit more. I get to unpack this a little bit more for you, and I think that's really important. So we talked about originally this idea of striking the words, you're doing a good job, from the vocabulary of leaders, because I have found that it's just not helpful. I'm often meeting with managers and middle managers and employees and supervisors, and their leaders, their bosses are not happy with them, and that's why I get called in to try to help and figure out what's going on. And I get this common response from them. They go, gosh, my boss said I was doing a good job. Really, how were you doing a good job? And they go, well, and then they pause and they look and they don't know. And that's not the employee's fault. That's the leader's fault. This person has no idea how it is that they are doing a good job. That's why I want it struck from the leadership vocabulary database. It's just not helpful. It doesn't tell our people how it is that they're doing a good job, what it actually looks like to win. It's just simply a compliment. It could be just like saying, hey, I like your shirt. It doesn't have any value. It's nice, but it's not helpful. So there's the context. And then in the post I said, I'll give you some understanding as to what I think has been really effective and what I've seen to be most effective when you are going to tell your people that they're doing a great job. When you do that, okay, so when you compliment your people and when you realize that it's important that they understand that they've really contributed, okay, which, by the way, is scientifically the way to go if you want your people to truly understand how to be better at their job. You have to catch them at their best. You have to catch them when they've done it correctly. Ken Blanchard says catch them doing it right. If you haven't read 1 Minute Manager, I highly recommend. That's just an old classic book, but it's humanly true. It's universally true. So this is not a new concept, but I don't see leaders do this very often, and it's tragic. So if you are going to compliment your people and you're going to let them know that they did a great job, here's what it's got to contain. First of all, it has to contain a very specific kind of compliment. It has to contain a very specific kind of feedback, a positive one. If you think they did a great job on something, be specific, okay? Number 2, if after you're specific, make sure that you take that specific thing that they did really well and you connect it to the result of the project that they had an impact on, that they contributed to. This helps them understand where their place is on the team and why they're a valued part of the team that you've constructed, that you've handpicked, that you've hired this group of professionals to work together, right? And thirdly, you've got to make sure that what it is that they've done is also connected to the mission of the organization. Okay, this is really critical because this helps leaders reinforce the vision and mission behind what we do, why we do it. Simon Sinek wrote a brilliant book on starting with why. And the reason is this: if people understand why they're doing what they're doing, they're far more inspired. They're more likely to stay and stick around. It becomes more of an intrinsic value because people need purpose in their work. So this is just an amazing opportunity for you as a leader to compliment your people and not just sweep it under the rug or blow it with, you did a good job. Instead, be specific, tie it to the results, and then tie it to the mission of the organization. So let me give you an example. This might sound cheesy, but this is how it works. So a leader approaches a person on the team and gives them a compliment. It might sound something like this. Hey, John, I want to thank you for your hard work and contribution on the Stevenson project. When you jumped in and actually crunched all that data that we didn't have time for, you closed the gap for us. And that was critical because we came in under the timeline that we promised the client, and the client is super happy. We look great as a company. And it's really important that we continue to deliver like that because we want to be known as a company that over-delivers. We want to be known as a company that really puts the customer's need first and almost exceeds their expectations because that's our value. So thank you for your contribution. It's super important. I'm glad you're on my team. Make sense? That is a compliment that changes people. you did a good job. That's actually going to produce really world-class winning results from your team. So take it, run with it, use it. Give me your feedback if you like. A large leadership vitamin for you.